What up, everybody? Listen, we're talking about everything that's going on right now. All these different illnesses, if you will, psychological, spiritual, physical. Did I say physical? How do you protect yourself? Everybody's coming out with devices and this and that. All of that is a bunch of crap. I'm gonna tell you the only way to protect yourself, man. I'm in the car, I started thinking, man, and I have to put this out. Super, super, super important video, man. So let's stay here. This is good for thought. Let's go. All my NazareNs out there, all the shout outs and everything at the end of the video. Listen, we're living through some crazy time, but see, the thing is that we have always been living through a crazy time. So whenever someone tells me, oh, it's such a crazy time right now, it's not unlike any other time. Listen, man, 100 years ago, somebody like you and me were sitting around and they were saying the same thing. We're going through some crazy times, and they were probably more right than what we are right now. Because, for the last couple of centuries, the world has been going through a crazy time. And the world, I mean the population. And recently, with all of this spraying in the air, again, a little disclaimer, I'm going to talk coded. So I want you to hear me intuitively. I want you to tap into your inner wisdom and read between the lines that way. Turn off the intellectual side, turn off the intelligence side, listen, receive this vibration internally, man. That's the only way to receive it. So again, with everything being sprayed, with everything that's going on, the most important thing that we are missing is that this reality, and it's not as solid as we think, I keep saying, but the way the enemy have constructed, lately everything is they work with electromagnetism. I'm not about to get into the sciences of electromagnetism and this and that. The most important thing is that even if you think about us communicating right now, you picking up a little box out of your phone and you can, in real time talk to someone halfway across the world. Electromagnetism. That's the way this reality is. It's not everything, but it's partially how the reality is charged. And the common enemy have learned a way to manipulate this. So what do I mean? A lot of times when someone asks me about, well, what about like psychics, right? Are they getting in touch with different spirits and everything? Most of the time, these psychics know how to tap into the electromagnetic field where all the information is available. Everything that's on your mind, everything that's in your subconsciousness, all memories, this, that, and even imprints of different bioenergies of different people that are no longer here, right? But they left an imprint. So I want you to keep that in mind as I go on. The way information has been disseminated, the way information has been received, and the way the information is being controlled. I have said this a million times. A lot of the information that you're seeing, people are becoming controlled opposition. A lot of them are not even realizing it because they read a couple of articles. It kind of, they make a good script and they feed it to all of us. And if it fits into our worldview, we kind of run with that. So I will remind everyone, if you're digging for information and knowledge in history, it will be a never-ending trip for you. If you're looking for it, in what shape the world is, you'll be a dog chasing its own tail, man. It's a never-ending thing. We have only one option, and that's going internally. This is why I have brought back the Vedas. I brought forth the Vedas series, and for it not to be a source of information or knowledge, but for it to awaken our genetic memory, which means our conscious memories, our memory that has, you can say Akashic records that have been around forever and ever, because you are a universe yourself. Your cells are these different galaxies and everything. We're a complete copy of what, existence really is. So you're a micro universe within yourself. So all the information is already available within you. And with that being said, so back to electromagnetism. I almost lost my train of thought. The enemy has been manipulating electromagnetism that holds all this information, right? And this video, especially for people that live in densely populated places, because we are the ones that are being attacked the most. If you look at the history, during what they call the Industrial Revolution, when all of a sudden when they rolled out the radio, and importantly when people started to consuming the radio at a high rate, we had an illness, and you can trace back all of these points in our recent history. When the television rolled out, you can see the different illnesses that were taking place, and not only physical illnesses. The same thing happened 4 or 5 years ago. I won't say it here because we're going to be blocked, but a lot of you know what I'm talking about. When a certain 5 with the letter something rolled out, we were seeing a lot of this stuff too. But this is what the important part is. This does not mean that we are being attacked and there's no way to protect yourself. No, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. The only reason people were coming under attack during all of these historical points, like 1919, the radio and then the television, the only reason why is because people were consuming it at a heavy rate. And you can especially look at what was going on in America, which meant that they no longer had the concentration. I'm not talking about mental concentration. I'm talking about your energetic force field concentration. I'm talking about your biosphere. I'm talking about all the other spiritual bodies, as we like to say. That's why all of a sudden the enemy, using electromagnetism, was able to puncture through that defense that we always naturally have. That defense goes back to your intuition, which equals wisdom, which equals love, the force. I'm not talking about some ideas. I'm talking about on a vibrational level, intuitively, right? So that's exactly why I said what I said with a lot of the information. Independent media also now becoming controlled opposition, because what are they doing? They're taking away your concentration. The way this reality has been, infiltrated is people go to work, for 9, 10, whatever, 12 hours sometimes. You come home, you're tired as heck, you fall down, you put on the TV. It takes away your concentration. You're no longer able to concentrate your body energy. You're no longer able to concentrate, your biosphere. You are no longer here in the moment. And that is the key, right? That no matter how much they think they can attack you, you are a living, breathing battery yourself. You can all of these attacks won't even get close to you. There's been a lot of like, hats coming out and this and that. It's good to, like, let's say, wear linen. It's good when someone like Jim Dillinger, I think the greatest video he ever made was when he showed how he wraps around his bed with copper, man, right? Like, these things are good because during the night you are, when you're asleep, when your body's asleep, you're most exposed. So that's why I'm telling you, during your waking hours, your concentration needs to be on point. What do I mean by that? Get away from distractions as much as you can. Again, if you fall down the path of I'm searching history or I'm searching the shape of the world, you will be taken away from that concentration. Distractions, distractions, distractions. That is the tool that they use. And with these distractions come fears and stuff like that, which is destructive energy. There's an energy that builds and there's an energy that is destructive. Things like lust, which they implement, lustful, not implement, but they put in front of people, lustful thinking, which turns into lustful actions, which is a destructive energy. It's not a energy that will build. So, all my lovelies, find back your concentration. What do I mean by that? Be present in every moment. Tap into your intuition. Go, have fun with your kids. Have fun with your loved ones. Be in the moment. And then nothing will get to you, man. How do I know this? I know this on my own example. I will share a lot of the things that I went through on the Soul Seek journal. I still haven't talked about it in detail here, but I was in situations where doctors were looking at me and like, oh my goodness, how are you still alive, man? I'm talking about to the point where I was intentionally being poisoned and things like that. So my lovelies, that's the key to this whole thing. If your concentration is good, no illnesses, no bad thoughts, it will all be a building energy instead of a destructive energy. And because a lot of people say, oh, if you put on this thing, then, or if you go through the airport, this will happen. Look, if you live in heavily populated places with all of these electro stations and this and that, we are constantly if you have an internet box at home, we are constantly under, I won't say attack because I don't want to scare nobody, but we are constantly sought out, if you will. So concentration, not a mental concentration, not a psychological concentration, but intuitively concentration. Be present, be here. One good thing that I remember, this is the huge difference between, let's say, the Hindu Vedas and what we know as the Slavic Vedas. You see, the Hindu Vedas, and again, you can't say that they are wrong because this is what fits into their, into their people, into their spiritual journey. They say but we have taken it to the West. So they say that in order to find that concentration, you do what? You get, into a position, you meditate, you get into this meditative state. For Slavs, they say that you always have to be in that meditative state, meaning that your reality right now, when you're moving around and doing things, and you sitting down and going inside, should not be two separate things. They should be one thing. You should always be. I made a video about it, instead of pondering or what is life or what you be that moment at all times. That meditative state, you should always be present in that meditative state, man. I'm glad I didn't forget about that. I love all of y'all. I'm still trying to do the live later on. So hit me up, man. Shout out to Romaniya Poet, Jim Dillinger, David Voronyuk, man. My boy Tomek, my boy Alpha, Sasha Stone, man. All you lovely people, you know what we say.